Alright, so for this video we'll be doing a weekly forecast for the markets, mainly equities and forex. Okay, so let's start off with ES. Yesterday I think we have a contract rollover, so right now I'm using the September contract, ESU 2023. Okay, so this is the weekly chart. I usually start off in a weekly chart. Okay, so what am I looking for right now? Right, we have a near term buy side, and then we have a huge volume imbalance with liquidity void up here. Okay, so I want to see if price wants to reach up into this area here. Okay, so right now what do we have is that we are in a uptrend, right? But do keep in mind that we are heading into the slightly bearish months of the entire year, which is mainly quarter 3 of the year. Okay, so this is the August high for ES, and if you use the chart for all the equities and you compare the highs, let's just do it on a weekly time frame. YM. Right, so let's do the weekly time frame right here. So over here, very simple, August high is right down here, so let me note it down. Right, across all the time frames, this is the August high. So Dow Jones and Nasdaq has already taken out the August high. We have left ES. Okay, let's just zoom in a little bit. Right here, I'm gonna remove this. Right, so let's just draw the horizontal line. August 15. Yep. So as you can see, we are in a, Nasdaq and Dow Jones has already attacked the August high. Right now it's ES. We only have ES left. So most likely it's gonna attack this high here, unless they want, the smart money or whatsoever wants to reverse the market, right? So even though I'm bullish, I am reserving it in a case whereby they want to do something like a SMT reversal. So I'm anticipating that to happen, right? But I'm still bullish. Okay, what can invalidate the bullish idea? If we is gonna run through the swing low right here. Okay, so back into the contract of September, if we were to run down this low here, then I think very likely we are gonna reverse. Okay, by that time reversal should be confirmed. Okay, so I'm just waiting to see, right? So up till now I'm still bullish, right? So overall, if you just focus on the weekly time frame, this is the continuous contract. Okay, so if you're just to focus on a weekly time frame, we are actually in a consolidation right here, and right now it's a expansion. So after expansion, usually we get this retracement, reversal, or consolidation. So what I want to see, what I wish to see is reversal, but I do not have to have that happen to enter trade setups. Okay, so Right here, very clearly, we have this fair value gap right here, and we have, if you look at this dealing range, we have this balanced price range right down here, right? So once this bearish fair value gap has been traded through, price closes above, you expect this area to be a form of support, right, to send the price higher. So because we have a expansion for last year, this year is most likely going to be a consolidation year. So even if we were to break down, I'll be only looking at this equal lows down here. All right, makes sense. So right now we're trading to this volume imbalance, and we have this bearish order block. Okay, so I want to see if price wants to respect this order block right here, but at this point in time, if you use the fibs and you measure the entire order block, price has already closed above the mean threshold. So it is very likely that we're going to attack this high here and then fill up this inefficiency right down here. Okay, so what do we have in the vicinity? We have the breaker, and we have the balanced price range over here. So let me just highlight them. This itself, this candle right here, is a breaker. Okay, I'm gonna remove this, use this. Why is this a breaker? High, higher high, and then it broke market structure, shifted lower. This was the low that made the highs up here and here. Okay, this was the breaker that was used to send the price lower, and price closed below this swing low right down here for quite a while, and then it came back up, retested the breaker, and then resumed lower. So if we were to be bearish, all right, and just imagine this is on a lower time frame, returning back into this breaker, taking out this swing high before reversing back down, this is a sign of high resistance liquidity on the higher time frames. Okay, so we have the breaker here, and at the same time we have the balanced price range right here. This is a bearish balanced price range. Okay, as you can see right down here, came back up and then immediate rejection, 4456. The high of this is 4455.5. so it's just 2 ticks away from this balanced price range right down here. Okay, and we have this fair value gap as well, right? So if price is to remain bearish overall in the macro point of view, I would want price to use these levels as resistance to send the price lower. So smart money is gonna accumulate sell orders above this level here, whereby a lot of big players will have their stop losses up here to exit below the lows here, right? I believe this is engineered liquidity. Eventually we're gonna come back down here. Okay, so I like this level as well. Okay, so let's see, we're still getting there, we're not there yet, and right now the time, we're in the month of June, the last month of the second quarter. So if we are gonna get a SMT, then I believe the high is gonna be made in the second quarter of the year. All right, and if you see, we open up, where do we open up for the year? This is the yearly open. Right, so this is 3rd January. Yearly open is right here. Okay, and all along we have been staying above the opening price, right? So if you head back into the yearly chart, 12-month. Okay, tapped into the inefficiency right here, and then right now we have traded higher. We're coming into this bearish order block right at about the equilibrium, right? I do not want to see price close above the equilibrium by this year to see lower prices next year. Okay, so my potential targets for S&P, right, it's this order block right here, and inside of this order block we have the consequent encroachment of the wick right here, which is just basically 50% of the wick itself, 27.54. Okay, so that is my ultimate target, to see if the market wants to go higher. But it can take out the buy stops. That is absolutely possible. It can take out the buy stops up here before reversing back down. Okay, and if that's the case, I think we're gonna have a aggressive move, okay, if that was to happen. All right, so right now I'm just focusing on the areas that are near, because I usually do not take swing trades. I usually trade in the day itself, right, intraday trading. So heading into next week, my bias for equities is bullish, right? I'm looking for buy side liquidity up here for this chart, okay, this chart over here, the September contract, right? Moving down to the lower time frame, we have this order block right down here. I want to see this price hold. If we were to run this low here, then it's possible as well we can run this low and go higher, but let's see what happens. Okay, because the thing is that we have taken out buy stops and we are in a neutral zone whereby I expect a SMT, so I would not really want to long above these levels here, especially since that we have created this weekly fair value gap with a volume imbalance right down here. So volume imbalances act as magnets, okay, just like the new week opening gaps. This is basically a new week opening gap because we are on a weekly chart. So these levels act as magnets, so I do not really want, or I'm not comfortable in longing above the opening price. I mean, basically above the low of last week, okay, unless I can see a short-term intraday liquidity. Other than that, even though I'm bullish, I would love to see some form of inefficiency filled before going higher. Okay, so for me, I would aim to take down this previous week's low and the volume balance right down here. I'm gonna use this green weekly volume imbalance. Oops, I'm gonna use top and to the right. Let's go for inside. Okay, and I think heading lower we have the daily chart. So on the daily chart, right, price has no reason to come back down here. Okay, you can see that based off of order flow, price doesn't need to come back down here to go higher, okay, based on order flow. Okay, but because the higher time frame it's king, I'm gonna rely my my system to run. I am gonna take my bias from the weekly time frame. Okay, at the same time, if you take SMT on daily, okay, SMT on daily, you can see the Nasdaq failed to take higher highs as compared to S&P. So right here we have higher highs, but Nasdaq is making lower highs, right? Just make sure. Yep, lower highs. So right now we could be in for a reversal. Okay, so I want to see what happens next week. So let's just say if you're gonna reverse, okay, what would indicate that? We would go down to the 1 hour time frame. Right, usually I like to use the 1 hour time frame for intraday. Intraday overall narrative, and then I'll zoom in into 15 minutes if I can't see anything on the 1 hour. So 1 hour time frame, we have this high purged and then price reversed. If we take out this swing low down here, or maybe this swing low, okay, close below this swing low, I believe we're gonna attack the equal lows down here. This is for Nasdaq, right? We have equal lows down here, and we have SMT up here, and we are in a what market profile? We are in a consolidation market profile, basically seek and destroy. So we're gonna look for short-term liquidity rates, okay, and I believe we're gonna play it from one end to the other. Right now the current dealing range we are in right now, it's right here. We're in a premium. Okay, so if you're in a premium, whenever you reach 75%, you're gonna sell. Oops, oh, wrong tool. Okay, swing high, swing low, 75% is right down here. Okay, so you can sell here into equilibrium and then eventually into the end of the range. Alright, I think the lows here are too clean. Alright, so I'll be looking forward to that next week. Okay, so overall on the weekly time frame it's bullish, but of course you can definitely take intraday setups that are opposed to the weekly trend, right here. Yeah, so as long as S&P on the hourly time frame closes below this swing low right here, and even better if we can close below here, then I believe that we're going to reverse down. For S&P, I'm looking at this equal lows down here, okay, and maybe this breaker. So heading back into the contract, right, equal lows I think is somewhere around here, and then we have this sell stops, and I think this order block is gonna hold the price. Let's look at 60 minutes, right, equal lows down here, and we have a breaker on the 1 hour right down here. The breaker lines up nicely with this order block, so I would love to see this order block hold to send the price higher for ES, right? Whereas Nasdaq's gonna take out the low right here, so that's gonna create a SMT to send the price higher. Okay, but then as you know, on the weekly time frame we have the previous week's low right here, which is also a weekly fair value gap. So price coming right back inside this area here, it's very highly probable. Okay, so I'm gonna reserve my pinpointing until the weekly open. Okay, so to summarize, I'm expecting price to go higher from here, right? We have this balanced price range. If price can go higher from here, I want immediate feedback. Okay, if not, this is going to be resistance, and we're going to send the price down here, return back into these two bearish order blocks, send it lower into the weekly fair value gap. Okay, and for Nasdaq, basically same. It's the hourly chart. We have, what do we have? We have this order block right here, this order block, and we're closing right back inside this BPR right now. Okay, so for Nasdaq, what I like to see is price close below this area here, and then we can run for the sell stops. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, so let's move on to DXY. Right, so my previous week's forecast is wrong. I was expecting DXY to run higher from this this BC right here, but on Thursday it decided to close below this BC. So right now I'm neutral for DXY. If you take a look at the weekly time frame, we're running right back into this BPR, and right below the BPR we have the weekly fair value gap as well. Okay, whether the dollar wants to reverse from here, I'm not too sure, but I would not like to see next week close below this BPR. It can come in, stab it through, and then reverse back up, closing above or within the BPR. But once it stepped through and it closed below, then I'll be looking at the sell stops right down here. Pretty simple. Okay. Yeah, so far it's still bullish. As long as we are above this BPR, I think we're gonna go higher to take out the monthly sell side, buy side, coupled with the fair value gap above. We haven't really tapped into it, just reached into this order block, this volume imbalance right down here. Okay, and we are reacting off a monthly level, so I expect some strong expansion away from this monthly level, since that we have tagged into it multiple times. Okay, and it's refusing to close inside. So yeah, I'm expecting this buy stops to be ran. Okay, so if I'm bearish, if I'm bullish on dollar, then obviously for euro dollar it's gonna be the opposite. So what do we have on the euro dollar? We have, let's go into the weekly chart. We have relative equal lows down here, and then at the same time we have a monthly fair value gap right down here. Okay, this is the monthly fair value gap down here. So if euro is to reverse to go higher to take out the relative equal highs right here, then I need price to be supported when it reach back down into this level. So if I'm expecting euro to go lower, where is the entry that I'm looking for? This fair value gap right here. Okay, possible that we can use this, right? We can totally use this fair value gap to what context? Right here, this area here can be BPR, run through this fair value gap right here and then displace lower. Okay, so same thing for euro. It can step through, but I would like to see weekly closure not above this level here. If it is above, then I think we can run for the buy stops right here. We have a huge volume imbalance right up here. Okay, so neutral for forex right now. Okay, so moving on to GBP USD. Let's remove the drawings, start fresh. For GBP, it's pretty obvious that this order block should hold. Okay, the monthly BC has been tapped in two, and I do not want to see price returning back into this area again. And then we're looking for order flows bullish. We're looking for higher prices, and because the dollar is going bullish right now, we are looking at some form of correction. But as you can see, as compared to euro, GBP is more bullish. Okay, we have a inefficiency right here, which it might want to reach into, creating an SMT against euro dollar, taking out the high here, reaching into here. But whereas euro making a lower high, and then that's where the SMT forms, right? I'm anticipating that to happen. Okay, and from there we can look for longer term trades into this fair value gap right down here, right, for GBP. Okay, and I think that's it for this video. And yeah, if I missed out anything, I don't think I missed out anything, but if I do, you can comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Right, and good luck trading.